welcome back to Tarot AF. So thank you so much for joining me today for our pick a card reading. So today I wanted to do something really different, and it's your three faces. That's what we're going to focus on. And this was inspired by a Japanese proverb I came about, which really reminded me of a game that I used to play with people I used to work with. And the game was that you would ask firstly, what's your favourite wild animal and why? And what's your favourite domestic animal and why? And the wild animal was all about, and it's the why that mattered, was all about the kind of what you wanted to present to the world, that face. And the domestic animal and that why was that what you're actually like. So for instance, for me, I said that my favourite wild animal was a penguin because they're formidable, that they they make soulmate connections, that they give each other's pebbles, all of those things. And the domestic animal, what I was actually like, was I said golden retriever, but all dogs in general I love. And I said because they give unconditional love, because they are loyal and they are friendly. And so that's kind of where that came from, that part of the game. And then paired with this Japanese proverb, and this was all about the three faces that you wear. So the first face that you wear in this proverb is the one that you show the world, the diplomatic, curated, perfect face that you show. The second face is the mask or the face that we show to family and friends. So there is some truth to it, but it's not your truest form, it's semi-real. There's elements of you that you draw out, but not the full picture. And then the third face is one that only you will ever see. It's one that you hide from everyone, and it is the truest reflection of who you actually are. So I thought it was really interesting, both of them paired together. So that's where the inspiration came from for this reading. So I've got 3 piles ready and waiting, and what we're going to look at today are those 3 faces, and then what spirit wants you to draw more out of, which is already within you, and what maybe you can seep through and let trickle into, because the third face, as the Japanese proverb says, is something that you will never show truly to anyone, but maybe you'll expend a few more. And tarot is such a useful tool for self-exploration, and that's what this reading is really all about. So if you've never been to a pick a card reading before, hello, welcome. So we've got 3 piles waiting for you guys today. So we have got firefly with pile 1, we've got fish with pile 2, and we've got butterfly with pile 3. So what I do is I post the times in the box below. You can meet me there for your reading, but take some time to see which one is drawing your eye. Trust that that one is for you, and then I'll meet you there for your reading. I'll see you then. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 1. So if you picked the firefly, then this reading is going to be for you. If you skip the intro, I would recommend going to listen to that, just because it explains what this reading is about, and also the 3 faces which I'm going to look at. And this firefly card represents the third face. The face that you hide from everyone, the one that no one will ever see. It's the truest reflection of who you actually are. With this firefly card, I feel like you have these brilliant bursts of creativity, and you feel like a light, like maybe you attract so many things to you, whether that be creativity, if you're a artist in that way. You just have these bursts of inspiration, and you burn so brightly, and it feels like when you are doing that, everything is coming towards you. But if you get burnt out, or if you feel like it then gets fleeting, it feels like the darkness almost seeps in, and it's like the darkness is always around the edges. And maybe that's fears and anxieties or obstacles that you feel are in the periphery, and maybe you feel this burden to burn so brightly because you are a source of light for other people. And maybe there's fears that you won't always be able to burn that brightly, that you might get burnt out, or that you you won't always feel this inspired or this alive in terms of what is coming at you and this energy creatively. And being a creative is one of the hardest things as well, because you get so much praise for your light and what you bring and the inspiration and where that comes from. And sometimes we're not always able to recreate that. So maybe that is some part of your truest self, your third face. But let's also get some tarot as well for additional info about this third face. With the firefly as well, obviously, you know, burning brightly, being a beacon, but also I think of like one of many, like knowing that you're a network and together, like with other people, with a community around you, you can burn even brighter. So maybe you feel like you need, not that you are a vacuum for people's energy and that kind of thing, but you know that you need either a project or other people around you, a community sometimes, for your, and that's so interesting, the Three of Coins fell out as well, a community for your dreams and ambitions, and you kind of need to bounce and vibe off people to burn even brighter. Like that is where your creative source is a lot of the time as well, inspiration from others, from give and take. So with the firefly, so your third mask, that your truest self, your most authentic self, I feel like you are constantly working. Maybe you feel like, maybe in terms of your material world, your job, your career, maybe that is, if you're a creative, maybe you have been able to make that your full-time thing, or maybe you are constantly feeling like you are working on yourself, having to make yourself the perfect version. That I'm hearing that for some people, maybe it's that I won't be good enough, I need to keep working, I need to keep trying to be what I need to be, I need to keep trying to make the perfect thing, the perfect me. And you know, you are enough just as you are, is what Spirit wants me to tell you. And if you are working towards your ambitions and your goals, and they are not, that doesn't define you, especially, and it's hard because as a creative, if you're working towards something you enjoy and you want to put your energy into it, they say if you love what you do, it will never, you know, you'll never work a day in your life and that kind of thing. But you are still working, you are still trying to get to that level of perfection, and maybe you are so diligent with yourself and almost so regimented in your routine because you want to do well, because you want to succeed, and you can see the results of what you do, and you just give so much of your time. And I think for you, stability and security for yourself and your loved ones is at the core of who you are. You want to be able to give back everything that you have received, all of the learning, all of the knowledge, and that is so important to you, not only for your own growth and your own stability, but for the people that you care about. With the Three of Coins, it's very similar to what I was talking about of that community. You need to feel like you have those relationships and that core around you of what you are sowing the seeds for. And maybe when you see mountains and obstacles, maybe even if people aren't physically there to hold your hand, because I don't feel like you need that, because you're prepared to do the work, put the hours in to make it happen and make it succeed. You actually, your safety blanket, your cocoon of people, maybe even if they don't know it, they make you burn so much brighter. And it's almost that reminder of why you do that work, of why you work so hard. And actually, they may not help you over the mountain, or sometimes they physically might, of the obstacles that you need to face, but that teamwork and that reason behind it, it's all fueled from love of others and the love of wanting to provide a stable, secure environment, potentially for some people, if maybe you're a parent, or if you're not a parent, maybe you see the future of yourself doing that, or maybe it's just, you know, like I said, giving back for what you received. And there is a I feel like there is a strong desire with the Six of Coins to provide that, to be in a position where you can give and give that material flow to others in need. And it's such a giving like it's such a giving force that you have that energy, and maybe you're afraid that you're not always going to be able to give, which is why I was kind of saying about that light. Maybe you feel like a lot of people depend on you and you have to burn brightly, and that darkness, it may feel like it creeps in and all of those things, and it's kind of on the periphery, and you feel like you need to burn bright, you need to give your energy to others, but make sure you receive back as well. And I feel like you know who and what you do this for, and there is a community around you, there is a team around you who want to help you ground the plans, want to help you ground the things that you want to do, but give and take. And because maybe sometimes you feel like you burn out, and that might be because you're not aligned to, or you might not feel like you are receiving enough back, whether that be in the results of your labor or the results, or kind of seeing that for other people and the benefits of what you are bringing. But you know, they say sometimes that the people that plant the seeds, who, you know, don't get to sit under the trees that finally grow there, are the people with the most wisdom, with the most light, that leave that legacy. And I feel like that is what you are wanting to do, is even if you feel fleeting in your kind of light, you don't know if it's always going to be on, as it were. You just want to create something, to stand for something, to have that purpose, and to make an impact on the people around you. So let's look at your second mask. So this is the mask that your friends and family see, and that is represented by elephant. So elephant, which is so interesting because we had all about those moving mountains. Elephants are, it's fire energy, it's triumphant. And I think of elephant as playful, as energetic. You know, they throw like water at one another and all of those things. But there's innate wisdom. You know, they say elephants never forget. Maybe you are stubborn to boot. Hello, I am too. But maybe as well, like, you are stubborn in the face of obstacles, and you go after what you want, and you are able to push through and fight your way through to what you want. And that's what your family and friends, those people that see the semi-truth, the parts of you, that's what they see, is this wisdom and maybe knowing beyond your years, and this stable person, which is what I feel like you want. Even if sometimes you feel like you can't always be that light, they see you as someone who is unafraid to go after things, who charges, who sees the path and can go for it, and is always plodding towards that. And also I think of elephants as guides as well. You know how they hold each other's tails and follow each other in the line, and that march together, kind of leading the pack and treading in one another's footsteps, that kind of energy, bringing everyone further along and inspiring others to remove those blocks as well. So let's get some tarot also for this second face as well. So firstly, we have the Nine of Cups. So yeah, tenacious and dedicated in the pursuit of what you want. And with the Eight of Swords, again, this is kind of these maybe thoughts that are hanging over you potentially, but maybe that sometimes you get caught up, and your family and friends can see that you kind of get caught up in a web of thinking of thoughts of almost your own making, but you are then able to identify and realize that you are much freer and able to move past it. And it's like abandoning the thoughts that no longer serve you, and that you're able to push through, even if you don't know where that path is going. They see you as someone who is with this Nine of Cups, very emotionally secure and stable, maybe within your relationships with them, but just you kind of have your emotional ducks in a row, and they believe that anything that you wish for, that you could have, that you can go after, that you can move past any obstacles in your way. And with the Hermit, I think they see you as this beacon, which is very similar to your truest self in a lot of ways. This, that you really tap into your authentic light and you attract people who are like you, and they want to be around that energy. And also the divine in a lot of ways, that kind of wishful, that manifestation, pushing past obstacles, pushing past things that other people may not be able to go after. And maybe sometimes you, this is kind of heavy Virgo energy as well with this Hermit card here, but you might sometimes have to block yourself out from external issues. So maybe you have a really close family or close friendship group, really tight knit, who are really the only people that get to see the closest authentic self. And actually, you can't get involved in other people's thoughts and problems outside of that. And a lot of the time, maybe you need quiet and you need to follow your authentic light and really find that time to tap in. And there is that wisdom and knowing that actually it's the external things, the humdrum, that you escape from in order to find that stillness, that balance. And you may not know exactly where you're going on that road. You may not know the diversions that are coming, but you are where you're going. You've set your sights on what you want and you are moving towards that. You carry all of your experiences there. And because you are aligning with your higher path, with your spiritual path, maybe for a lot of you, if you are an artist, like I was saying, that kind of comes out of that authentic truth, and that beacon shines forward. Or if you just feel very aligned in terms of your job, of what you've always wanted to do and what you feel innately like you have to give off, they can see that. Your friends and family can see that beacon, and they're almost willing to follow your truth and wherever that takes you, because they know emotionally that's what satisfies you, what fulfills you. And they see that you have a lot of contentment probably in their relationship. And I think they see you as someone who is very giving, who, like a waterfall, it kind of starts from the top. By fueling yourself and making sure that you are looked after, making yourself the first priority, taking that time away to shine brightly, you can then extend that to other people. And, you know, if there are roadblocks in your journey, they know that it's not going to be a roadblock for very more, that your tenacious, your dedicated personality is going to see right through that mountain. And I feel like shift perspectives like no one else, that you can just see a workaround which maybe no one else outside of that situation could see. But like I said, you're much freer to walk and much more able to align with the path that you feel like you need to tread. And I think they are just blown over by this spirit. But also how, like I was saying with the elephant, like that there is this also ability to play as well. Like there's not this like seriousness all the time. There is fun, there is love with this Nine of Cups, but you are just true to yourself. And there's almost that no bull line, which is why maybe with the third face, when we come to it, and I get that feeling that they see your like parts of your authentic self and your truth, and they know that maybe if you have that tight-knit circle, that you don't really, it's like a boundary. You're like, I'm not going to give all of my time and effort to people outside of that. So let's look at your third mask, or the third face, the one that you show the world, so the most diplomatic and perfect, and that is in the Beaver card. And yeah, I mean beavers are absolutely that, I think, diplomatic and perfect in so many ways. And that's not saying that they're like, beavers don't have problems or anything, but in terms of the way that you want the world to see you and how the world do perceive you is that hardworking, tenacious individual. Someone who, if you have a project, you will work at it until it is done. And that is what they see you as someone dependable, someone hardworking, who will fulfill deadlines, timelines, whatever it is, who is not afraid to put in that grind. And also the beavers are kind of family people. So actually, a lot of your authentic truth does trickle down, I feel, into your third mask. But obviously with the firefly, maybe like we were saying with that light, and sometimes you might feel it's fleeting. There are aspects which maybe people don't know the full reason of why you do the work that you do and why it's so important for you to give back. But with this beaver energy, there is that family attitude to it, family and friends, you know, building a dam or whatever it is for the community, so that it leaves a legacy, for that lasting legacy, kind of what we were talking about. So let's finally look at some tarot for the kind of, it's really the first mask that you show the world. So let's have a look. Okay, so we have the Devil, we have the Seven of Swords, which is really, really interesting. Okay, and then we also have the Five of Swords too. Awesome. So with the beaver as well, I feel like people from the outside and kind of the face that you want to show is kind of a liberator. Like with the Scorpion on this card, you can see like the chains are broken, and with the Devil card, it's all about illusion. It's all about going for things that don't make your heart glad. And I feel like you want the world to see you as liberated, someone who is free of that, someone that doesn't need all the things that the devil thrives off of, money, sex, politics, any of that, to fulfill you. That does not make your heart glad. And like I was saying, that kind of no bull filter, it's almost like you can't be bothered to get involved with the chains that hold other people down. And I feel like with the beaver again, that's kind of aligning to kind of freer energy, but also energy of from the heart of where you want to be. With the Seven of Swords as well and the Five of Swords, I feel like the mask you want to wear is almost one of, you don't get to see my truest self in a lot of ways. And that's boundaries, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe you don't want people to know your full plan or what you're thinking all the time, and maybe you're quite a closed book in some respects, as in you let the world see what you want them to see, in terms of not your nearest and dearest, those people on the periphery. And I think that you want people to see you as someone who picks themselves back up again and continues to go for it. And even if you lose a battle, or if you have an obstacle in there, you will still be fighting for the war. And actually, like, you will continue to find and fight for the thoughts that you believe in, and like that liberating and all of those things. But I feel like the kind of mask that you show to the world is that you're very dependable, you're very hardworking, you're very ambitious, and if you have something set in your mind, you are going to achieve it. And it's just like, no one can stand in your way. So it's almost like, don't test me, don't push my buttons in some way. And it's almost not giving, you don't owe anything to anyone, which is a really, really healthy way in a lot of ways, especially if you've got a lot of kind of your friends and family are the reason that you do a lot of things, and the reasons that you fight for a lot of the path that you want to tread. So with the outside world, it's almost that, yeah, you show them what they want to see, and like, you're not afraid to put the curtain over things. But sometimes that can mean kind of manipulation or deceit in some stretches. But I see this much more of, you don't want people to take any of your unnecessary thought energy away from your true purpose. So like I say, you only show them what they want to, like what you want them to see. And with the Five of Swords, kind of touching on that even more, there's that kind of feeling of, you will always put yourself, and quite rightly, and the things that you want first. Like, you are dependable, you are hardworking, you will be listening. Like, the beaver again is a family person, but you know what is your family and what is your truth and what you want to work towards, and everything else around that, like I was saying, the no bull, is not worth your effort. So actually you will always put that as the first priority, what your truth is. And actually that is a really, really strong position to be in. So like I was saying, I do feel like you have probably quite a tight-knit family or friendship or chosen family group that sees you a lot closer to your authentic truth. But I think people from the outside know how you will put in that grind to get to where you want to be, and you're not going to get caught up in things that they are chasing. You're going to follow what makes your heart glad. And maybe from the outside, maybe potentially they may see that you, like, yeah, you're liberating, but maybe there's some things which they think, oh, they're just going after this for there may be a few people, not everyone. They may be going after this career path or something so that for themselves, so that they can, live a lap of luxury or whatever it is, but they don't know that it's from that family orientated place. Or they might get to know that a little bit, but maybe first impressions they're a bit like, oh, maybe they're just chasing their desires, but actually I think slowly the mask, the face slips off, as it were. So let's now see, now that we've looked at the three faces, what Spirit wants you to bring more of. So this is probably more from your third face to the rest of your faces. So, but like I was saying, you guys feel pretty aligned in a lot of it. Obviously, I think you show the world what you want to see, and you kind of gain trust, and you know who your close circle is in a lot of ways, and you will always put that first. But Spirit, what do you want pile 1 to show more of? Okay. Ooh. It's that one. It's that one, the pillar. So maybe with the pillar, maybe it is kind of that, I think of kind of the Emperor, and also the elephant really fits in as well. There's one deck that I have, the Orion's Tarot, where the Emperor is represented by the elephant too. And it feels like that you are a pillar for the community. You're a pillar in standing up for what you want. And, maybe it's not, maybe you can tell people a bit more, maybe when they first see you, that you do it for your family and friends, potentially. You don't have to, but I think Spirit wants you to realize as well how strong you are. I know we were talking about the fleeting nature in some respects, or how you may feel, but actually look at how strong you are. And also there's a pillar in that 3 of coins as well. Like, you are a strong pillar for the people in your life, whether they meet you or from the first face or the second face. And actually you have grown a lot. There is a lot for you to be thankful for. And also with the pillar, we've got play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. So maybe that's kind of for your third face, the face that you kind of show the world in some ways, like that one that we do. And maybe that's, I also think pillar and then play, it's like kind of that festivity and joy in the 4 of Wands, like kind of having a good time, celebrating all good things. Like, you've got your like-minded souls, that sanctuary, and you can just find joy from there. And don't be afraid, they always say, work hard, play hard, but maybe you do work hard, so maybe you just need to have a bit more fun and play. And with that elephant as well, we spoke about that play that you find with your friends and family and how they see you, that playful spirit. So maybe you can bring a bit more of that as well to maybe the mask, the kind of face that you show the first part. And then we've got wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. And we've also got snake spirit, time to heal. So maybe the reason that you have this, and maybe that's why the Seven of Swords has come up as well, and the Five of Swords and the Devil potentially, all of them. Maybe the reason that you have a tougher exterior potentially to the world, the diplomatic and more perfect one, the kind of hardworking, dependable person that you show, with not really tied to the devil and all of those things, is because there might be some healing to do. Maybe you have really been hurt by other people's manipulation and deceit. I kind of said that before, and how maybe you hide your truer thoughts and feelings because you maybe lost battles and stuff like that. And there is strength in opposition, and there is strength and vulnerability in the wounds that you have, and actually that's where you heal. And with the snake spirit, maybe it's shedding a skin, shedding almost a part of your layer, and realizing that you don't need to be as you can be a bit more playful, and you don't need to be as tough. People will still see you as a pillar, as someone who is strong and stable and dependable, even if you give them a bit more and you show them some of your scars, because your scars are your experience, are your wisdom, and that is your knowledge. That is where you are going. You carry all of your experiences with you, but that doesn't stop you, and that hasn't stopped you doing the things that you want to do and the reasons why you are doing it. So just because maybe you have potentially suffered one emotional manipulation or thought manipulation and deceit of a plan that maybe went awry from someone else's actions or something like that, or maybe at one time you were really chained to the devil and the illusion of it and wanting to chase different things, and you kind of liberated yourself out of that. You know, say why you now choose play and all of those things, and how you don't want to get caught up in those things, especially if you're artistic. You know, people love that story, and you are still strong even if you show a slightly softer side to you. And you know, like I said, you haven't won the war. You may have lost a battle, but you've healed from that. You're growing, and there is a reason why you can keep pushing past obstacles and rise up again. And trust, and I feel like you know this within your truest form, that if you keep working, every hour you put into the things that you want, the goals that you want to achieve, will come back at you, and you are doing it with true intentions. And trust that you have all the wisdom, all the knowledge, and all the time that you've taken to heal to extend to others, and you are a reflection of that. So my glorious friends, I am going to leave that reading there for you on your three faces. I hope it resonated with you. It was such an interesting reading to do for me. I'd love to hear in your comments if it resonated, if it was useful, if the advice was useful as well. As always, I am sending so much love. Thank you so much for all of your support and generosity. I feel it every single time I load up anything, any Instagram post or TikTok or YouTube video. So thank you so much. I really hope to see you guys next time. If you'd like to see me there, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love. Bye. Hi lovely friends. So if you picked the fish card, then this reading is going to be for you, and the fish is going to represent the third mask that I spoke about in the intro, the third face, the one that we hide from everyone. So the one that no one will know apart from yourself, that you won't ever show to anyone, and it's the truest reflection of who you are. And with the fish card, I feel like you are someone that craves movement. You always want to be on the go. You want to feel that flow. You want to feel that purpose, that feeling, that propelling forward, that motion. But sometimes it can feel like the world and the ocean around you is so vast, that there's almost so many opportunities, that it's so deep that you're not sure where you should go, and maybe you lack direction and the vision. But the thing about you is I feel like you always adapt well, that you are versatile, that you are someone that can almost be anything and reinvent yourself in that way. But maybe sometimes you feel like I'm one of many fish in the sea, as the saying would go, but you know, what is my purpose? But I feel like you adapt to any weather, any change in the current, and ultimately, if you are scared of, you know, the enormity of the things around you, you can follow your sense, your inner knowing, your intuition, that kind of guiding light via the moon, and find your purpose within. And that's where your versatility and your ability to adapt comes from that inner knowing that you will find the flow again, that you've tasted it once, and paradoxically if you face the other, you can find it again, you can find that grind. So it's kind of that flip-flop, that we need both in order to see the good. You need the bad to see the good. So with fish, it's really a beautiful energy. And you know, with that ocean, everyone feels like there's so many of us on this planet, there's so many things, but you do have a purpose. I mean, the unique possibility that you would be here right now with me speaking at you at your screen, the possibilities are endless for where you could be, the paths that you've tread, and everything has led you to this moment, every decision. And that is why it's so unique. And that is the power of the fish as well, is realizing that yes, there is so much vast ocean to travel, so many people doing that. There is a purpose there to you as well. So we have the 5 of coins. So again, this is just tarot to support this face. So Spirit, so this face, the truest reflection, truest form. Okay, and I'm going to take 2 of swords, and then I'm going to keep going because a few others, there we go, a few others turned over. Okay, so I see in terms of your truest self that, again, we've got that mind over heart feeling, that intuition, that moon in the background, but it feels like maybe you get stuck at crossroads. Maybe there is that need to, again, paradoxically, maybe it's flip-flopping of releasing the past. And yes, versatility in realizing that that is the past, that that's what you need to release, and carving a new way for yourself, finding that flow. But it feels like maybe you always seem, and maybe you always feel, that you come up against obstacles, you come up against roadblocks, and also sorrow. And actually that there is a lot of pain and a lot of fear and unrest with this 3 of swords, that maybe that is the hands of other people, that, you know, other people's thoughts and words really affect you, and actually take that on very seriously. Or maybe it's even just you feel like there may be even some hidden, like, self-sabotage in there, that sometimes you do things or say things, or opportunities get cut off which you were hoping for, that which pierce your heart in some ways. But that pain, there's that healing, and like I was saying, that versatility, that growth, that adapting, and out of the known security, that you may feel, that flow state of where you feel like things and opportunities were coming to you. Once that door is closed, we can get onto a new path, we can find a new trend, whatever that is, and that lack of known security opens doorways. So sometimes I think maybe in your authentic self, maybe you're worried that you won't find that window of opportunity, that new flow, but your intuition will lead you there. And that is what Spirit wants me to say to you. Even like this face, this authentic face at the end, like, even if you come across pain and you come across sorrow, you will get back up again. You can follow your intuition, follow your gut, and energy doesn't lie. Thoughts, actions, they can all lie. Vibes and energy doesn't. The energy of your intuition, your gut, that fish sensation of following the flow and finding the flow, that doesn't. In the dark spaces, you can find light. You can find because you are the light. Your intuition is the light. You can find where you are supposed to be going, even in the darkest depths. And I feel like that's what Spirit wants to remind you of, that maybe sometimes you feel like you live in that pain and that space and that sorrow and paradox, and that is tough and that is hard, and you self-soothe and you heal and all of those things, and sometimes you may not be able to see that closed door for what it is, that change of perspective to get you out of a flow which maybe you didn't want to go onto, and actually it broadens your horizons by letting you follow your intuition and carving out a new path. But it hurts when you're in that state where you feel cut off. But yeah, you have so much power within you to find those opportunities. So that's the first mask, or the first face, the truest reflection of yourself. So we'll now look at the second face, which is represented by the bee. So this is the face that you show to your family and friends. It's semi-real, there's some truth in there, but it's not the truest form. And with the bee, kind of alongside the fish, your family see you as someone who is truly vibrant, who, when they have a purpose, when they have that flow, they have that project, they are putting in that work, they are there. You are present, you are building, and you are able to be one of the team. You are happy and you have these creative flourishes and following your intuition, following that scent in order to create sweet honey, in order to create magic. And it is almost from that artist feeling of needing to add your flair to anything. You're not afraid to get stuck in and be there. But if you get overworked, or maybe if doors are closed or you don't get to get your view across, maybe that's when you sting, or when you, and obviously when bees sting, and this is not saying that this is you, but when bees sting, they die when they pierce. So maybe that state, that cut off, comes from that point, and maybe your family friends can see a bit of that, not really know the full depth, but see that if you can't put your true vision in line, and or if you work yourself too hard, or if you fall out of this flow state, then it's like you sting and then you have to leave that. You can't go back to that. You've got to go on to something new, and you will eventually do that. But generally it's, with the bee, it's this joyous energy, this energy of, kind of like I was saying, vibrant, wants being around. And there's that, obviously, the buzz from being around this person and what they're going to create and bring to any project, any team. So let's get some more tarot. So we have the Devil, which, interesting, we've got the Scorpion on there, which also has that sting in the tail as well. So maybe you're a Scorpio, or you know, you don't have to be. We've got, sorry, I'm gonna reshuffle because I'm looking for one more card. That's Earth in the bee, so maybe not. We've also got the Page of Wands and also the Two of Wands, so fire energy too. So don't worry if I've said Scorpio and you're like, I'm not a Scorpio, no. That's fine. So we've got the Devil, we've got the Page of Wands and the Two of Wands. So yeah, they see that you need to creatively visualize where you are going, and that maybe sometimes it's a bit unformed in some way. With this Page of Wands, it's kind of unformed intuition, like you're not fully maybe on the path where you want to tread, but you can see it. Maybe if the rest of the world can't see what you're working towards, what your true north is, and where your sights are set, like, you know. And I feel like you are really faithful to that vision, and faithful to trying to discover and uncover more of your intuition. But I feel like if you are doing things that make your heart unhappy, if you are following something, that flow, or whether you can't find the opportunity, but you have to work, because obviously we have to work to survive, to create money, to do all of those things. If you are in that state where you have to do something for the sake of doing it, and not from that place of your intuition and feeling like you are moving towards your goals and being faithful to that, towards your creative vision, that's when you snap and you sting, because you don't want to be repressed by the illusion of it. You don't want to be repressed by things that don't make your heart happy, things that other people are chasing potentially. You know that that does not satisfy you, and if you get wrapped up in that, even for a second, that doesn't align to your creative vision of where you want to go, that's when you get frustrated and annoyed, and there's that feeling of cut off. Maybe they don't know how painful it is for you in that respect, but they see that you are enlightened in that way of maybe, and it's almost like with the sunflowers in the background, it's for me, it's showing that kind of passionate warmth, obviously sun energy, that clarity, but also like with the bee, it's kind of not afraid to go and find the nectar, and also we've got the flowers behind this Two of Wands card as well. So it's kind of that you're not afraid to go for other opportunities in order to find your true goal. And it's like they maybe not be able to see the results of it, maybe it's still in that gathering power, but everything that you do, you are growing stronger because of it. Even if you aren't in the place that you want to be, you know what you don't want, and that's what your family and friends see. Like, they know what you don't want, and they know what you that you need to have that creative outlet, that you need to be working towards what you do. And if you don't, that's when you almost kind of have to shut that down and break that off in order to go for something new. But you're incredibly hardworking and know yourself, know your boundaries, maybe, and can see those results and have that almost self-enlightenment, that light that people want to follow. And I feel like with the Two of Wands, you can make leaps and bounds, which maybe a lot of people wouldn't be able to make, and you, yeah, like I said, can just see that end goal. And if you ever get caught up in anything, it's like checking yourself, and you're like, nope, cut that off, cut that tie. And there's just that kind of fire about you in that way. And obviously we've got a lot of fire energy. Obviously Devil is Scorpio energy, but well, it's got the scorpion on the card, sorry, but that is quite fiery as well. So with the starfish, this is going to be the final face. It's going to be the face that you show the world, so the most diplomatic and kind of perfect, or the most curated in some ways face. And with the starfish, people see you as a very alluring person, someone that draws the eye, that draws you in, that magnetism. And you can see that in what your friends and family see, in that you are tenacious, that, you know, you will cut through, you have this enlightenment, you have this vision, and you have this beautiful artistry, and your intuition, following your gut and believing that everything you have is within you, and that you will find that light, and you are that light. You almost create a beacon. And with the starfish, that's what it feels like, someone who is artistic in that way. Like, we've got the flourishes from the bee as well, but just drawn in, eye-catching. And, you know, I also think with starfish, obviously, like, born to be a star, center of attention, all of those things, but it's not even that. It's there's elements of that too, but that you almost can just stand in your power. I think of the starfish as like the power pose that you do before interviews or that kind of things, that actually that you stand within your power, and that you know yourself truly is what you maybe present to the world, which, you know, your family and your friends see as well, but internally, in kind of your authentic self, maybe you know that you have this intuition, you know that you can adapt and be versatile and change, but maybe it's kind of like presenting to other people that you are more in control and more powerful than maybe you feel a lot of the time with the fish energy. That may be different for some people, but yeah. So we've got the Ace of Coins. Firstly, we have got the Moon. Interesting. So with the Moon is that kind of, it's the illusion, it's the darkness. And I feel like people don't really know whether, maybe in some cases when they first meet you, because obviously this is the one that you show to the world, maybe the Moon, is maybe they don't know whether you like them or not in some ways, potentially. That I think you are a very giving, you give off that energy and that light, and in the darkness there is that light. And maybe with the artistry, the Moon is all about delving into the unconscious mind, the artist, and bringing that creativity from that place to propel forward. And the Moon is like that reflection of the sun, something very deep. And obviously we had the fish with like feeling like going into the darkness, into water that other people haven't tread maybe, and bringing that back. But yeah, maybe there's that some sort of, people can't quite pin you down, kind of think there's a bit of an illusion around you, a bit of a mystery that they want to tap into, because your intuition, I feel like, comes out, and there is that light with the Moon in darkness, like you are all that beacon. And with the Ace of Coins as well, I think, and the Seven of Coins as well, I think they see you as someone who always finds opportunities, always finds that stability and that security. And like I was kind of saying with having to work, maybe you kind of come to a close with jobs, but maybe you've worked a lot of jobs, or you always find new ways to create money or finances or schooling, or you're not afraid to reinvent and change and find those new opportunities for growth and stability. And it's that kind of carving a new path, like you always land on your feet is what I'm hearing as well, that kind of power, that manifestations come to you, opportunities come to you, you are a magnet with them. And with the Seven of Coins, it's like you've got so many bows, so many arrows to your bow. Sorry, like you've got so much that you have created, that you have grown already, and you are reflective of that, and you keep on adding to those. And it's like maybe all the things that you are planting, the seeds, the new opportunities haven't come into fruition yet, but you've got so much around you. I'm hearing like massive CV, but not in that way, but like I'm just seeing that you've had a lot of opportunities, or you've challenged yourself to get to this enlightenment, but also just to try and find where you want to go and where you fit in, what your world, and set your sights on the goals that you want. I feel like maybe you've tried a lot of different things because they haven't felt right, and because you want to be faithful to your intuition, to that spark. So I feel like people see that kind of colourful personality, that is alluring, that has so much about them, and deep unconscious levels, things that maybe it is that thing with the Moon, kind of what I was saying, that mystery. There's so many layers, like onions have layers. Moon track. Onions have layers. They're like ogres. Not that you're an ogre, but it's that peeling back. Like there is so much to unfold and unfurl. Unfurl. And with the Seven of Coins, it is that there's like so much twisted around that that it's like kind of like a bull of wool. As soon as they start pulling back, they see so much more of what you've done. And I think conversation with you, there's always that giving, there's always so much to find out, so many layers. So I feel like in a lot of ways, kind of the starfish is your confidence in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of people see you as a very confident, powerful person that shines brightly, that has a lot, like is alluring, like brilliant to look at. You're a very attractive personality and person altogether. So I want to kind of get some more cards from Spirit for you, because we've kind of looked at the different faces of what kind of Spirit wants you to align with, or what, because obviously the fish feels very drastically different from the starfish in a lot of ways. Obviously we can see the underpinning truths, and we can see the kind of links there with the new opportunities and all of that, but some of that feeling, maybe some of that pain and sorrow that doesn't really come through all the time. Like, I think to your friends and family, you let bits of that because you show them the vision that you see for yourself, or you try and explain that vision and that intuition. The intuition is there throughout, that kind of link to your authentic self in a lot of ways. It's kind of bursting through all of the opportunities. But I want to see some cards for, yeah, just advice from Spirit, what they want you to show more of to other people. So Spirit, for pile 2, what would you like to see more of? Okay, I'm going to keep both. Dare to dream, and also the universe. So I feel like I'm going to get some other cards as well. I feel like the dare to dream is that opportunities that you see for yourself, maybe in the 2 of Wands, maybe bringing some more of your creative visualization of where you want to go to that point, but also kind of you're daring to go into those darker places, those unexplored places maybe, and the universe as a whole. And I feel like in some ways the universe, with those threads there, like you are in charge of your universe and in charge of your feelings. And maybe it's that you don't, like, kind of with that Devil card, maybe you don't need to be as tied to everyone else's things. So actually you can show more of that energy to other people. Like, actually, I am mysterious, I have got a lot of things, but it's because I am looking for the right opportunity for myself, which is why. And you know, maybe it's less, you don't have to justify yourself to anyone in any way, but it's, yeah, trusting your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? Trusting the path that you're treading, or the path that you see for yourself, even if other people's, and finding that window. And maybe if you know what that window is and you're afraid to show other people and share them, because maybe for some people there will be a fear that, oh, pile 2 has done so many things, they'll probably get sick and tired of it. Maybe you know, that's an inner critic voice that, you know, I have for myself coming through there. So I'm sorry if I projected that onto you and it didn't resonate, but if it did, you know, you are strong and you are following your intuition, and actually trust the path that you are treading a lot of ways, and don't allow that inner critic or the voice of other people with that 3 of Swords to get in your way, because you are strong, you are healing, you are versatile, you are able to set your sights on what you want, and actually people can see that about you. Maybe you don't need to show everyone, because you're not defined by who you were, you're defined by who you are now and the future of what you want, the seeds that you are planting now. So maybe focus less on the CV, the like list of things that you've done potentially, or the paths that you have tread, if that seeps into your family and friends, and just say, no, this is who I am now, this is my authentic self, this is what I am chasing, this is the path that I am carving for myself. And you don't need to justify yourself and why you're doing it, but you can just say, I'm actually not my past I've learned from, I'm growing from it, I'm healing from it, and actually I want to change, and so I can. I've got a brilliant path, I've done so many things, but Nightingale Spirit, love is all around. I'm finding love. I'm finding love in what I am doing, and actually singing your tune, singing the tune of what you want to grow and be. And also on the back, we've got Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold, which I feel like is for you as well. There is that be fearless in the pursuit of what you are going after. And, you know, I think your family, your friends, they love you so much, and also you are full of love. And I think there is that, obviously with the authentic kind of the third face, the one that only you will ever see, you know, have great love for yourself of how far you've come, how far, fish, you have swam already, and how you have overcome things, and how you keep getting back up, and how you keep showing and you keep shining. People still want to know about your energy. Be fearless and bold with your intuition and where you are going. Trust your path. And yeah, you are allowed to dream, and you are allowed to set your sights on things which other people haven't done, or, you know, which may be out of the flow, maybe out of the norm. You can keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And trust that you are following your intuition, and you are following the love of what you want to do, and you have that vision for yourself. So don't worry if other people don't see that vision. Let them underestimate you, or not even underestimate you, sorry. Maybe some people, you feel like some people do, but let them think that you don't know exactly what you're doing, or you're flip-flopping. That's fine. You trust your path, you trust where your intuition is leading you. You lead from a place of love, and you follow that above all, because doing what you love and being love, that is fearlessness and boldness. That is strength. You don't need to tell everyone what it is you're doing. You don't need to list all of those things off. Being true to yourself and being authentic, vulnerability, that is the most purest form of strength. That is a way of showing that you have it, if nothing else. So, my glorious friends of pile 2, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys there. I hope it resonated. I'd love to hear in the comments if it did, if the advice was useful. I'm sending so much love. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved it. I feel so privileged and so full of gratitude for everyone that follows me on here, and also on TikTok and Instagram. It's an amazing community, and you guys are incredible. If you'd like to see me again, please do hit that subscribe button. I'm sending so much love to all of you. Until next time, I'll see you there. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 3. So if you picked the butterfly, then this reading is going to be for you. And the butterfly for you guys today represents that third face that I was speaking about in the intro. The one that you hide from everybody else, that you don't show to anyone, your truest reflection. And that is represented by the butterfly for you guys. And the butterfly is a symbol of transformation and transitions. But also with the butterfly, it obviously goes through 4 stages, from egg, caterpillar, cocoon to butterfly. So it feels like there is ever growing lessons. Maybe it feels that you get caught up in cycles potentially. Maybe there is also this fragile nature to the butterfly in that cocoon, that you need to feel protected in order to grow and to flourish. And such a beautiful personality, such beautiful colours that attracts the eye and attracts so many people to you. But like I said, there might be that sometimes frustration with those growing pains, that maybe you're not growing on the time that you want to, or things aren't hatching quite when you planned. But there's that kind of needing to be nestled and needing to be nurtured, and having that comfort, having that sense of safety, and for your vulnerability to really be shown. And maybe you feel like you're in one of the transformation stages of the butterfly, or maybe you repeatedly feel like you go through cycles, that there is always obstacles maybe, or always change that you have to overcome, that you have to nurture yourself with, and you need those people around you that help you with that. So we're going to get some tarot as well to delve deeper into this face. And you know, maybe you don't tell the people in your life as much as not you know, maybe as much as you want to, about how important they are to you during those changes, or how painful it is actually for you to go through these transitions in order to be who you want to be, and to find that liberation and that freedom. You know, that transformation does find you know, is hard, and it's all for that place of wholeness and yeah, hard work. Hard work is what I'm hearing as well. So with you internally, like we were saying, need people and need comfort, need your community and your cocoon around you, so that you can have those like soul connections, that full heart, to really feel like you can flourish. And I feel like there is that dependability for you on those connections, and maybe you don't always feel worthy of them for that cocoon, but they are so important for you, because that's where you have that fuel for growth, by seeing emotionally where other people are, but also surrounding yourself with who you want to be like, and that in turn rubs off on you. And with the Six of Swords, I feel like maybe you've had to, like we were saying, go through quite a lot of transitions, a lot of getting rid of baggage that no longer serves you, reinventing yourself, getting on that ship and sailing towards calmer waters after a period of turmoil potentially. And it is that cycle of transformation is hard, it's painful, and it feels like you're always trying to, maybe you feel a bit in survivor mode in your truest self, that, you know, there always seems to be obstacles which you come up, and you always have to be working hard. And with the Eight of Coins as well, there is this diligence and this prudence, this tenacity and dedication. It feels like you always have to be switched on in some ways, and no one can always be switched on. Maybe sometimes you can steer the ship into calmer waters by yourself, or sometimes maybe you need someone to be there to help you find those, like you need to lean into your community of your nearest and dearest in order to find that window, after that door's been closed, to sail off, and you need that person to help you get rid of that baggage. But you're not afraid of that hard work, you're not afraid of transforming, because you know that it's going to get you to that level. But there is this dependability and this need that you can't be alone, and not that you're not comfortable with yourself or you don't know who authentically you are, but that you know that your energy and your love for others runs so deep, and you want that to be reciprocated around you as well, and you are just striving for that love, for that community, for that family. And when you come up against that, or maybe there's instances where you don't quite get the ending you were hoping for, or the connection that you wanted, that you so desired, that you were willing to put the commitment and the effort into, it feels like that fragile state that maybe you get thrown, and it really plays on your mind. It's hard for you to get out of that state, and you do need those people around you, those truest people, the people that make your heart full, to help you out of that, and to help you travel towards something new and get you out of that state potentially that maybe you get thrown into when a door feels like it's closed. So for you, you know, your family and your friends, I imagine, with the next phase that we unravel, are so integral to you and so important. And it's not that it's all one-sided, like you give a lot as well with this Eight of Coins. Like you're not afraid to put the hard work into connections, into your job, and maybe your job and your security helps fuel some of this emotional energy and emotional stability within your relationships. Maybe you like to give to your friends and family, and there is that side. But if things don't go your way, if jobs or whatever you're transforming into, or maybe you're kind of moving onto a path at the moment potentially that you're having to move into, those people have been so important in your cocoon, in where you're coming. Maybe you feel like you're just becoming free and liberated into the path that you've wanted, and maybe you've kind of gone through that caterpillar stage where you know, you weren't doing what you loved, and the cocoon kind of wrapped around you, and now you feel like you're coming out of yourself and into this state, but it feels like still maybe a toddler toddling along, like walking along, like you're not quite running yet, so you still need that nurturing. And it's not that you don't give that back in return, and I feel like you have in the past, definitely, but maybe this time has been a real like healing journey for you, so that you can liberate and come forward. So now let's look at the face that you show to your family and friends, which is represented by the stingray. So the stingray is kind of that, again, aligning to your true path, to your true purpose, finding confidence and stability within yourself. With the stingray, you've got the chakras all, the imagery of the chakras all lighting up. And it's that coming together of your spiritual body, your energetic path, and finding confidence in that, finding your spine, as it were. But with the stingray, sometimes, and I think this is what your friends and family see, is that they can see that you are trying to align to your true purpose, and actually their words, your friends and family's words, have such an impact on you. And not that they have to tread carefully, but maybe they are aware that they don't want to hold you back from the path that you are feeling called onto, even if they don't understand it, even if they don't know where that journey will take you. It's like we were saying with the cocoon, I think they want to be there to support you, but they don't want to hinder you. And maybe with that growing, that transition, maybe you've done a lot of, okay, who are the people that are my nearest and dearest that I need to keep around me, who know me for who I am, who know me for the truest self that I present to the world. And those are the connections that I need and love. And I think maybe your friends and family are just aware that you are going through these aches and pains, this need to go on this new path, and they don't want to hold you back, but they see so much ahead for you, even if they don't understand it. And they see you growing in your confidence, in your abilities, and I feel like they think you can take on the world, that you have this this higher calling, this higher sense of where you need to go, and that you are kind of lighting up where that is, and feeling liberated. And maybe, they don't want the cocoon to hold you back. Maybe they're aware that they are a bit of the cocoon, and maybe they're just worried that they are, if they say things or do things, that they might hold you back from swimming towards what you want. So we've got the Three of Cups. So friends and family are so important to you. I can feel that. And with the Three of Cups, it is that joy, abundance in life. And like I was saying, you surround yourself which you want to be around. And I think your friends are so lucky with this Wheel of Fortune to be in your life and to be around your energy. And I feel like they have seen your pain, seen your struggles, and have wanted to help and heal you from that as well. I think with the Three of Swords, and maybe they know that, maybe, I don't know, for some people I'm hearing maybe they've not always been as encouraging as they could have been, or maybe there has been that element of maybe some betrayal. Not that all of your friends and family will have done this or anything like that, but maybe their words cut deeper and affected your heart much more than you showed them, or that kind of thing. Or if you suffered that at the hands of other people who maybe were your friends, or who were your chosen family or partners, or whoever that is, there's that journey away, like we were talking about in your truest mask, your truest face. And maybe they see that pain, that suffering, and want to kind of help, but they see that there is so much almost being like your destiny is being woven for you in some way. And you decide your destiny, you decide your fate, and every decision you make, you have that free will, carves a path for you ahead. And I think they see that you are carving your path, you are making your decision, and you have that decision to move on. And there is that kind of stepping up to the plate of playing the game of life. And they just know with the Three of Cups that there is so much healing and solace and celebration to be had. And there is this soul connection here, soul family, soul tribe, and you surround yourself which you want to be like. And I think they've seen maybe betrayal, manipulation before, maybe from previous friends or partners, like I said, chosen family, in that way. And they want to be there to help you heal and support you, and know that you are still healing. I think it is what that is, and that cocoon was so important for you. And I think they do see a lot of, I think they see you as very confident in terms of where you're going now, even if you don't feel like you're fully bursting through, because obviously there will be elements of your truest self coming through into your friends and family. So they can see the pain, they can see the hurt of what you've allowed them to see, and they've seen that unrest that you've gone through. But they want to fill you up with that right love, and they know that there is this, you find joy and beauty in the world through those eyes and through the eyes of those people that count to you. And maybe they don't know, maybe I feel like you tell them a lot how much they mean to you and how much joy, and just by your presence when they're around you they can sense that, but maybe they don't know how much of an emotional blanket and cocoon they are actually for you in some ways. Maybe you don't feel like you'll ever be able to tell them how much that support is for you, but I think they know that you are kind of playing the game, spinning the wheel, and they know that you've got a journey ahead of you in some ways, and like luck is on your side. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it is all about that, a turn of luck. And if you've felt that sorrow, if you felt that pain, they see that you are maybe you go through a lot of cycles as well. Maybe you feel like we're saying, those doors, those transitions keep coming up repeatedly, or maybe patterns, but it feels like you're coming to the wheel to play the game now, and you're not just kind of going round the rungs, like you're stepping up and finding your kind of spine, as we were saying. And maybe there's even more confidence and liberation than there ever has been before, in this way, and your friends see that tenacity and that drive that you have. So let's now see the first face that you show the world. So this is your diplomatic, your most perfect, I'm hearing palatable as well. Sometimes you dim to fit in, and you don't mean to, but it just happens, because we don't want to seem too this or too that, to get on people's whatever people think. You worry sometimes, but actually with the Peacock card, I feel like people see you as someone who has so much inner beauty, and it's not even, you just draw the eye, and it's not about your external like bravado or anything like that, but there is that integrity, that inner beauty, that poise, and also that that kind of that authenticity, that self, that sense of self, that sense of purpose, that sense of drive, which maybe you don't feel like you are fully there, and it's it feels like it goes through stages, like you don't feel like you may be fully there with the butterfly, that you are still transitioning and finding that freedom. Your friends and family sees you as having that backbone, going and traveling towards that, and the peacock is probably with its plumage probably the most colourful, and almost that you exude that confidence and that reassurance in who you are and all of those things. So I feel like people, when they meet you, are kind of taken in by that, by how much you've almost got to show for yourself. And yeah, there is that allure about you, that wanting to get to know you, and what is kind of behind the face, behind the mask in some ways. So we have got the Two of Cups, we have got the Empress as well. So I feel like people instantly fall in love with the magic of you, of your energy, because I think there is great joy. I think you make people feel good as well, and I think your spirit helps liberate people in a lot of way. And with the Two of Cups, it is the Love card, and I think you can talk to anyone about anything. I think in some ways I'm hearing chatterbox, but maybe if you don't identify with that, you have that energy where people have that rare connection to you, that rare attraction to you instantly, and you have a lot of healing and reassurance that comes out of your connections. And I think they see what fuels you, the love that you feel, and love goes through all of these cards. I think you are not afraid to tell your ideas, to show what you love, wear your heart on your sleeve is what I'm hearing as well. And with the Empress card as well, this is, and you do not need to identify as this, but this is the kind of mother, the earthly feminine of the tarot deck, and that in that sense of sensuality and sexuality as well, motherhood, but it's that growing and nurturing, finding that abundance, and it's like that ever unfurling rose growing. It's like there's so much, so many layers. I said this for the other part as well, but it is that, like, you have so many opportunities at the edge of your fingertips, and you can bring around so much. So I think there is just a deep attraction, a deep pull towards you, because you grow and nurture what you want. And I think you present the best of your garden in some ways, as in the best of you is what you show first. And that's not like, you know, that's how you get to know people, by finding their passions, by finding their drives, and all of those things. And I'm not saying that that is a veneer, because I do truly believe that you come from an authentic place when you are telling people about what you love. And when you talk about what you love, you light up, which is probably why there is that confidence and that beauty that shines through. And I think they see you as someone who is powerful, who sits within their power and has that freedom to grow what they want, and has so many opportunities to do so. And with the Judgment card as well, I think you're almost like an alarm bell for a lot of people, because you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I think you wear your hopes and your dreams probably there too. But it's that alarm bell of, wow, they are free, they are liberated, they have confidence, they are doing what they do, they are breaking out of the box about what other people think. They don't care what other people think about them. It's like you can digest any situation and anything that happens to you, take it in your stride and keep walking. It's how people view you, that the outer world, and that you follow your calling, you're following your path, even if other people can't see that path and are just grasping at it. You are there, you are treading it. So maybe they don't see some of the potentially vulnerability or the pain that maybe that has come from that need to transform and that need to transition. Maybe they don't see all of that, but they see someone who has so many opportunities, who has abundance. And I think there's a deep knowing. I said about sensuality and sexuality, and there's a card that comes up which is sacred sexuality, and I'm thinking about that card, and it's all about that core, that confidence of who you are deep within your kind of root or solar plexus. And it's kind of that drive, that inner knowing of who you are, and that integrity, like I was saying. And I think they see you as someone who is free and actually frees others, and almost gives them that, oh wow, they are so out of their head, or they are so in line with who they want to be and their emotions and doing what they love. Can I do that too? So it's a really like vibrant energy to be around. So now what I want to get is, so that was your the mask or the face that you show the world, that kind of perfect face in some ways. And I just want to get some cards for what Spirit wants you to show more of, potentially. So maybe it's in the in this kind of first, the world face, or your friends and family face, because obviously the third face, as I said in the intro, is a face that you won't show to everyone. No one, and you alone will only see that. So there will always be aspects of you that you keep to yourself. But this is what Spirit would like you to show more of, the outlaw. And I think you do show that a lot, but I think Spirit's saying that you can do it even more, that you are treading a path away from everyone else, what other people want, and you're not afraid of what other people think. And maybe that's even coming more of that confidence that you show. Maybe it's flip-flop. Maybe the more that you show out to the world, you can bring in and draw in and know that you are flourishing and you are perfect, you are enough as you are, and you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And I love this because this tarot deck is called the True North Tarot. But you're already doing it. You are already transforming. I don't know what went wrong with my voice there. You are already transforming. You are already making that transition. And actually, you are going off the beaten track because you feel that calling. And actually, it's almost putting your money where your mouth is, in some ways, is what I'm hearing. And this may not be for every single person, but, you know, it's like you can say to people what you're doing, and you can say, this is what I want, and I'm coming up to the game, I want to spin it. But are you feeling it? You kind of are bringing the action, but are you feeling like you are worthy enough, and all of these things, and you are facing your true north? And stop overthinking it. Stop feeling in your most authentic self that maybe you're not good enough for this path, or that you need other people to be there to always show you the way. Like I said, if the boat rocks up and no one's on it, you jump on and you steer yourself into calmer waters and where you're going. And that's the main thing. You are where you're going. You are already doing it. You're already on that path. Trust that your light's going to shine forward for you. So I think there's a lot to be learned from that. And, you know, everyone overthinks. So, you know, don't worry if you're worried about that. We've got Sandpiper Spirit, be playful, and on the back, which drew my eye, so I was like, I have to do it, because we've got Butterfly Spirit, transformation is beautiful. It went down and I was like a magpie. I was like, I need to have that card too on this deck for this person. But, you know, be playful. And I think that's the thing, you know, I think you are very playful in your relationships and who you are internally. Like you want that full heart and all of those things, and you do bring a lot of that. But, you know, with this working so hard and feeling like you get wrapped up in the thoughts, feel it. See feelingly, and you know, you are following your intuition, you're following your love of what you want to do, and that's why you are transforming. So trust that that is coming from that place. And actually, by being playful, by looking at life with curiosity and not worrying about you know, you will always want to work hard. You always will want to go through that transformation and make sure it is perfect. And there is always that needing, wanting and doing. But, you know, so many people see you as this playful who you have a rare attraction with, and who can, you know, get on board with you and all of those things. But, you know, there is both. It's paradoxically, in order to have the playfulness, to have the silliness, the fun, you know, we have to have experienced the hurt and the sorrow. And actually, you have, my glorious friend, in some with this Three of Swords, you know, you have felt that. And, you know, you're allowed to flip-flop between. You're allowed to be angry about that place and those things, but you are healing from that. And, you know, your transformation is beautiful, how you take that in your stride and how you move forward. Be proud of that. Be proud of what you have overcome. You don't need to just show this, I'm a finished product in a way of I'm exactly where I'm going, or I know exactly the path. Like, it's okay to say like I'm still getting there, I'm still transforming, and be playful with that, and be like, I'm a bit of an outlaw, I do what I want when I want to, and I've worked really hard, and be proud of the progress that you have made. I've worked really hard to get to where I want to be, and now I can enjoy it and be fun, or, you know, now I can start to. So, you know, that you are becoming free, and you are already doing it. So Spirit is saying like maybe you've taken some time to get to that your third face. Maybe you've not always been there, like the first face that you show the world, the peacock. Maybe it's taken you a while to get to that stage where you can show other people your loves and your passions, and inspire that within everyone else. And that's it. Maybe Spirit's saying, you know, you're already doing it. You're already doing what you need to do. Keep doing that. Keep finding the playfulness. Keep cutting that out, that which doesn't serve you, and keep listening to your higher path, your calling. Keep being an outlaw. Keep treading that path, even if other people don't understand it. You are actually liberating and freeing other people by aligning to your truer self. So I feel like for you guys, it is actually encouragement from Spirit saying, keep going, keep working, and I feel like you already are, and I hope this is just a confirmation for you, and I hope it resonates in that way. So saying that, my lovely friends, I'm going to leave this reading here for you guys. Like I said, I hope it resonated. I'd love to hear in the comments if it did. I hope the advice was useful. You guys are such beautiful, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I am beyond grateful for everyone that follows me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It's an amazing community I'm so thankful for, and you guys are beautiful, beautiful energy. Thank you so much. So if you'd like to see me again, obviously I'd love to see you guys there. Please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm sending so much love. Bye.